Good afternoon, this is Pat Walker, and I'm going to show you a video on MarketSmith, which is one of the screening tools that I use. In fact, it's my primary screening tool. Years ago, I was in the beta test group for the original Daily Graphs product. And I've got Daily Graphs charts in my office dating all the way back to the early 90s. And I still sometimes refer back to them. Why? Because chart patterns, studying earnings, studying sales. I use MarketSmith, and the reason why is it's great data. It's great fundamental data, which you see right in here, earnings and sales, but it's also great technical data as far as the chart's concerned. It's just a good, clean, and simple chart. I love the price, I love the volume action, I love everything about it. Also, I like it, fundamental data that's shown here. It shows the earnings over the course of the years. It shows the price high and low. It tells you about the group rank, the SMR rating, which is sales margins, return on equity. It's got all this clean data in it. Also, it tells you the average daily volume on the stock. But here's really a big reason I use it, and I have to share this with you. I'm really big on screens, using screens to find stocks. Now, I have to share something with you. This is very important. Bill O'Neill talks about key on stocks that have earnings and sales up 25% or higher. Both of those constraints, and that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. But here's what I found. I have seen some tremendous growth stocks that have one of two variables. And this is really important for you. Last quarter's earnings up 40% or higher, minimum, right down here. Apple's is only up 18%. Last quarter's earnings up 40% or higher, or the last two quarters sales up on average 45% or higher. So you can say, well, Pat, what's that give you? Here's some constraints for you. I have two screens. One is last quarter's earnings up 40% or higher. It's over $10 a share, trades more than like 200,000 shares a day. It's above the 50-day. It's within 15% of 52-week highs, and a couple other constraints, top 20, 30 groups. Or all the other constraints are the same, but instead of earnings, the average sales growth for the last two quarters was 45%. I'll show you something right here, folks. Let's see if this will open for us. Here they are, right there. 40% earnings, top 20 groups. 45% sales, top 20 groups. Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to click on this right here. Down here you can see it's running. I'm going to drag this over like that. And all I'm going to do is this. I'm going to show you something really neat, folks. You just hit this box down at the bottom, and it's going to open up. There it is. I sort stocks by industry group rank first and percent off high second. So this is the 40% earnings screen. And what it means is all of these stocks last quarter had earnings up at least 40%. At least. I have another screen, and it shows all the stocks that have, again, the average sales growth for the last two quarters of 45%. So I have screen one, 40% earnings, and I have screen two, 45% sales last two quarters. I combine both of them together, the results from both of them together, in one big list. And I run it, and you could say, by gum, you're coming up with a ton of stocks. This screen only comes up with 50 stocks. The other screen may come up with 40, 45. But there's overlap. Some stocks are in both screens and lists. I combine both lists together, and it gives me a great list of stocks to shop in. So I'm just going to show you something here really neat. I'm just going to click on the first chart. Here we go. We're clicking on it. We'll wait for it to load, and here it is. I'll lower this down so you can see the chart. And we'll do something here really neat. There it goes. Take two. Last quarter's earnings up 40% or higher. In fact, two quarters they were. But look at this nice trend. I didn't put anything in here, by the way, that, oh, the stock's up to, 30% last 2 months. No, it's just over a certain price, within 15% of 52-week highs, over the 50-day, last quarter's earnings up 40%. Here's take two, grinding on up. I'm just going to run through like 10 of these and show you something. Here's take two. Sangamo Therapeutics. Folks, look at this. Last quarter's earnings were up more than 40%. I include companies that they may have negative earnings growth, but in relation to a year ago quarter, their earnings were up a minimum of 40%. And it was. They lost 38 cents a share. 17. By the way, this is group number 2, Biotech. Look at this. Stocks go up. Look at this. Look at this break right here above $10 a share. Look at the volume that came into it. And what's it do? It just marches right on up the line. From 10 to 17, the last time I checked, that's a 70%. That's a 70% gain. That's not bad. And it's a top group. So here we go. I'm just going to keep on going here and show. And by the way, I'm not recommending these. I'm just showing you how this works. Stocks go sideways. Now it had earnings, and that's why it lifted off here, okay? We want to be really careful with that. Goes sideways and starts to lift up. Goes sideways and starts to lift up. I'm just going to keep on going here and show you a few of these. LGND, a little shelf, and it goes up in price. A little shelf, it gaps up on earnings. A small shelf, and it goes up in price. It's starting to pick up again. What would we like to see here in this biotechnology stock? You'd like to see it take out these tops with a pickup in volume. It's not right now, so we'll see what happens. I'm just going to keep scrolling here to show you this. Corp, look at this. It's been on the 40% screen for a while, for a year. Look at the numbers and look at the grind it's made. Goes sideways, goes up 15. There's a lift off there. Look at the volume when that stock lifted off 15 through $15 a share. 15 to close to 20. Last time I checked, that's 30% on your money. That ain't bad money. I'm just going to keep on scanning here. By the way, please don't think, oh, you're just showing us all the winners. No, all I'm doing is saying these are all the stocks in the top 20 groups that last quarter's earnings are up 40% or higher. It's over a certain price and a certain price volume, and it's within 15% of 52-week highs. So it's not like, oh, you're only going to see winners. No, you'll see some stuff that's junk too. Okay, this keeps going up. Akabia, I can't even pronounce it. That's kind of scary, isn't it? Anyway, it's going side. Look at this, kind of a cup and a handle right here. A cup and a handle. And it lifts off right through here with a pickup in volume, and it marches on up. I'm not recommending these stocks. I'm just showing you leading stocks, leading groups. And again, this is group number 2, and it's been in the top 10 groups for a while, biotechnology. EXAS, grinding on up. We'll keep on going. We're going to get out of biotech here in a minute. Zoma, look at that. Look at that little lift out through, what is that, through around $12 a share, 12 to 22 very quickly. Don't buy these up here. I'm not saying that. I'm showing you an example. This is choppy. We leave it alone. When you see these loose kind of patterns, you just move on to the next one. Okay, we're into a different group. Stockville formed a cup here. Maybe it'll form a handle. It's in the top 10 groups. It's got great earnings. It's got great sales too. It's got great estimates. And again, top 10 groups. Top 10 groups. Went sideways right here. See this little shelf right here? And it lifts off. I'll do a couple more here. Warner, I haven't looked at these yet, okay? I just ran this screen right now. Warner, grinding on up. Thor, top 10 groups, and it's been in the top 10 groups. It either has last quarter's earnings up 40% or higher, or last quarter's average of last 2 quarters sales up 45% or higher. You can say, whoa, right here, Pat, it wouldn't show up. Earnings were only up 27%. You'd miss that part. But on the average, the last 2 quarters sales were up more than 45%. It's what we look for. Shenandoah lifts up. By the way, you'll have things like this too. Please don't think, oh, this is simple, I'll just buy these and let them work. No, you have to find a clean and simple chart pattern. You have to find a clean and simple entry. You have to have volume coming into it so that other people see it. And you always, always limit losses. Always. Shenandoah. Here's Teradyne. We've talked about this in missionwinners.com. What I do, folks, is I'll tell you this. at missionwinners.com, I go through this list every night. I run the 40% screen and the 45% screen. I put them together in one list, so I don't need to look at the same chart twice, neither do you, and I look for entries. And I put that list out on missionwinners.com the night before so people can be prepared for the next day. ESIO, MKSI, look at this, taking out 87 bucks a share right around here, and it's just kind of grinding on up. 87, it's 96 bucks. It's in the top 10 groups. It's got great earnings and sales. There you go. I don't need both, but I just need one or the other. Form factor grinding on up. AXTI, that's a lower priced one, but it's grinding up. I'm going to stop with this one, okay? But I also want to do one more thing for you. We're going to go over here. See if this will drag over. And here's the 45% sales in the top 20 groups. I'm going to click on it. Here comes the list. This one comes up with 30 stocks. So I'm going to drag that over. I'm going to drag this up. And all you do is click on the box. And here they are. I drag it over so we can start from the top. And it starts with a bunch of biotech stocks. We can run through these and look at these again. Here, I'll just run through these fast, okay? Now, this screen shows stocks in the leading groups that have last quarter's sales up. The last 2 quarters sales up on average, 45% or higher. Here we go. Zoma. Some of these are repeated from the other screen, okay, the other list, so I don't want you to think that it's, here we go, blue. See, now this wasn't on the other list. Why? Didn't have the earnings, but it's got the sales growth. Look at this, folks. They had revenues of $16.7 million. A year ago, they had revenues of $1.6 million. I don't know about you, but that's about 10-fold increase. That ain't bad. That's a trip to the bank. One side, you can say, oh, that broke out because of earnings. Here's where the earnings were on MarketSmith. It tells you. It didn't break out on earnings. It didn't do anything. Then it finally caught a head of steam here and took off like the rocket's red glare. And isn't it interesting? Because it's in the top 10 groups, and it was in the top 10 or 20 groups when it broke out. Biotechnology. ADAP. Breaking. Here's a low price. When it broke above $6 a share. Had some good volume come into it. Look at the volume that day. Broke above 6. Kind of a cup. Right here. And handle. I'll show you something nifty. Watch it. That's a daily chart. Here you go. Here's the weekly chart. Lifted through here. Broke out. Look at that volume on the weekly. People talk with their mouths and vote with their pocketbooks. They voted. They voted. Now, please, I'm not telling you to buy it here. I just want to show you this. I'm going to keep on going with a couple of these. See these little gaps in here, gapping every day, that bothers me. I steer clear of those. This one had a big day today. Why? I don't know if there was news. Which leads me to a very, very important point. Folks, I'm showing you all these things going up in the biotech group. I cannot stress enough. These are great. Every once in a while, you will get something like, I think this is the one. No, that's not the one. I can't remember the ticker symbol. That just exploded, blew up on people a couple of days ago. Be careful with that. Now what I'm going to do here to save time, I'm going to jump out of biotechs. We're going to go down here to the semiconductors, okay? Here we go. There's about 6 of them, 7 of them. We're just going to look at these. And again, this is from the screen that last quarter sales were up. The last 2 quarter sales were up on average 45%. Goes sideways, lifts off above $8 a share, or what is that, $8.40 a share, and it goes up. It's not a huge move, but it's a start. I'm just going to run through these real quick. Lam Research, been grinding up for a while. NVMI, this right here, you see this cup and a handle? We own this in Mission Winners. This was on the list. Right in here. This was on the list and people bought it. So that's where it's at. Fits the criteria. MKSI, grinding on up. Nice. Form, we looked at that on the other list. ICHR, lifted out of this little cup and a handle on decent volume. Pulling back. Goes up on heavy volume. Pulls back on less. Where is it? Right at the 8-day. We'll see what it does. Here we go, Ultra Clean. Ultra Clean. Lifts out of this cup, goes up, pulls sideways, bounces off the 8-day with a pickup in volume and starts to go again. Leading groups, leading stocks. Good, we're in a different group, we're going to stop there. All right, I know this was a longer video, but I had to show you this. I don't work for MarketSmith. I am an IBD Meetup co-leader. So I don't want you to think that, oh, he has nothing to do with them. Yes, I do. But am I compensated in any way, shape, or form from MarketSmith or IBD or any entity related to them? And the answer is no. I don't get anything free from them. I get no percentage off on it. I get no discounts. Nothing. I wish I did. I don't. But I just want to point this out. There are other great screening tools out there. But the rationale here is this. It's not touting the MarketSmith product. It's touting the research. 40% earnings last quarter or 45% average sales the last 2 quarters. Leading groups, the top 20 groups, it's 40 stocks. I can go through those easily. I combine the 2 screens together. Maybe it comes up with 50 stocks. That's a great shopping list for you. I hope this helps you. And again, this is the kind of research we want to do. I've been doing this since 1986. I was there for the crash of '87. Big reason I put together missionwinners.com, I will tell you this, is to educate you. It's to inspire you. It's to educate you. I don't want to just give you fish. I want to teach you to fish. How will we do that? Very simply. Show you charts, give the rationale behind the screening process, fundamentally and technically, give a great chart education so that eventually you'll be able to, my goal is to speed up your learning curve so that you're able to find good stocks on your own. That's what I want to do, empower you. Does it take a little time? Yeah. Does it take work? Yeah. Is it worth it? You bet it is. It's definitely worth it. Is it a challenge? Yes. But it's so exciting to say, I have the tools that I can go in there and make some screens that I look at the results and I can find candidates that have the potential for me to make money and help my family. That's it. Mission winners. That's what we're trying to do. So I thank you very much. I'd love to get your input and feedback on this video. I know it's longer than normal, but I think it's worth your time. I don't want to waste your time. Time is a valuable commodity. We won't get any more of it. So let's use it wisely. Thank you very much, and I hope you all have a good night and a safe night.